We walk forth in layers, you know, and I think that that's what's really important about this show, is that it shows the layers of this desire of understanding our human condition, of understanding who we are in relationship to this world and each other. I am my mother's heart's desire. My mother was her mother's heart's desire manifest. And that we were gifted this relationship with clay. We were gifted this relationship with each other to make this journey together. What we see in this show are just so many aspects of that experience.
These sculptures are meant to be witnesses, they're meant to be guardians. They're building relationships with every single person who comes in here and looks at them. So even though you're looking at them, they are also looking at you.
They're offerings for their audiences. The humanness that's so present within this exhibition experience. All Rose's works are reminders for how we can navigate this life better. I'm Arden Sherman, the Glenn W. and Cornelia T. Bailey Senior Curator of Contemporary Art.
And I'm Pamela Solares, the Sophie Davis Fellow for Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Access.
This exhibition marks the 9th iteration of our Recognition of Art by Women series. This is a series of exhibitions organized by the Norton Museum of Art that pay tribute and honor one woman artist who is working in the medium of painting or sculpture. I felt that presenting the work of Rose in collaboration with the work of her mother, her grandmother, and her great-grandmother really shows and demonstrates the trajectory of one artist through her matrilineal line. Rose has never shown in this region of the United States before, and I felt that it was an important moment to bring her work together on this scale. The exhibition takes a survey-style approach where we see artwork that spans the last 10 years of her artistic practice.
For Rose, her practice is not a singular practice. The focus of this exhibition is Rose B. Simpson as an artist, but also a dive into how she became who she is and how her sculptural style has evolved. She is a product of her family, she is a product of her ancestral lineage, and so to understand her is to understand the full context of where she comes from and who her family is. So Rose B. Simpson is a member of the Santa Clara Pueblo, which is an indigenous community located in New Mexico. She comes from an estimated 70 generations of potters, to give you an idea of how far her ancestry goes back. Rose grew up within her community, but she also grew up near Española, which is known as the lowrider capital of the world. And the influences of both her community and Española have influenced her work. She'll use ceramics, which is an ancestral practice, but she'll also use found objects and mechanical hardware like different car parts, and you can see the way those are integrated in each of her works.
A lot of care and consideration was put into the exhibition design. You're welcomed into the space with curtains that depict stars on them. Those stars are symbols that Rose takes up a lot in her practice.
The intention with that is for you to come in and look at the stars that are on the curtain that represent guidance and direction, and to take a moment of repose. Let everything sink in before you enter the exhibition.
She created those in collaboration with the Norton Museum of Art staff, who helped her paint and design those curtains. The curtains flank a wall of masks, and these masks are often seen in Native American culture. They often represent ancestors who are watching over the household and reminders of our past and our legacies. You turn the corner and you enter into the first gallery. This is a gallery around family and inspiration. Here you'll find the work of Roxanne Swentzell, Rina Swentzell, and Rose Naranjo. Then you will see moments where parent and child are represented in the work of Rose B. Simpson.
And so to put all these pieces in the first gallery is to build a relationship between Rose's works and those works.
So this is called Two Selves. This piece is really special to me because it's fairly recent. It's one of the more recent pieces in the exhibit. I made it last year, and it was a difficult piece to make because it's a very personal piece. And everything I make is some sort of self-portrait of a part of myself that is figuring itself out. But this piece in particular felt like a really difficult self-portrait. And I am a parent, and so I have a child. But I think often about metaphors like things like dreams, right? And in dreams, often children are yourself. And even in our world, our children and our pieces of ourselves that move through creation on their own, right? So in a sense, it's also true, like we are living vicariously, we are living for, right? We're living a life in order to create a better world for our children. So in this piece, I'm simultaneously holding this child being, this intimate and innocent moment, but is also myself. And so most times my work doesn't have arms because I have sort of deleted the act of doing this like action, this constant action, to a state of conscious being. And so this piece, the arms become from the heart, from the small self that desires something in the world. And it becomes this guide. In a sense, when we have become so cold or patterned in our way of being that it's time to start listening to another voice and another pull to transform our direction and our directive. So this piece is about my heart's desire.
It's been a real honor to work on this exhibition. One reason is primarily because of getting to know the practice and the person that is Roxanne Swentzell.
It's fascinating to me to see, 4 generations here of my family's artwork shown, and just the dynamics of it, the differences, but also the connections that are obviously there. It makes me want to see more of my grandma's and my mom's pots, just because I want to study, like, how did this translate, and then you have Rose right here. It's cool because those ties are there. Those are stepping stones that we have with each other that continue.
So fun fact about this piece is that it was made at CSU at Long Beach, at the Ceramics Research Center. They have these massive kilns. And if you look closely at my work, so much of it is determined by the size of my kiln. And so the perk of going to a place with a large kiln is that you don't have to make a sculpture in pieces. You can make it in one piece and then fire it all together. So this is one of the few pieces that in this exhibit that is one solid, the red clay here is one solid piece, so I made that in one go. And then we put it in the kiln. And one of the reasons I wanted to do that was so that I could get some of those linear elements in the painting on the surface to stretch the full length of the piece. This is one of 2 as well, in honoring of a state of being. So much in my life I have felt like I have dismissed my gut instinct in order to follow my thoughts or my judgments around an experience. And I have made this monumental piece to honor the intuition, to honor that gut instinct. It is something that has been overlooked, and in this piece I am honoring this new method that I choose in my life to prioritize.
What I would love for every visitor who experiences this exhibition to take home is that these works are looking back at you and they're maybe inspiring you to remember that you're being watched, whether it's by artwork or by other people, and to just be more considerate. People have created these artworks for us to engage with them and to really spend time understanding and appreciating them.
Rose B. Simpson really thinks of her art as tools for how she navigates through life. One of the main takeaways that I hope our viewers get is I hope that they find a stillness and a moment to really reflect on the artwork in the room. I really hope that they can find themselves in each of these objects.